Hello, thanks for stopping by. Well, today we're going to start working on the mezzanine. Not going to get it completely finished, but going to get all the beams set. So I went with 8x8 beams. The scale conversion on that, for me, what I found worked out to be 18.5 by 18.5 millimeters. Measured out the length, did one solid beam across. Just cut the first one with the coping saw. Used the miter saw after that. A lot easier. Could have used the coping saw, just would have took more time, and it was a straighter cut with the miter saw. So I tried to get the tightest measurement I possibly could across the shop. I didn't want big gaps on the side. It wasn't really going for the built into the wall look. It's kind of just going to be a mezzanine that was put in a shop after the fact. Maybe not built to code, don't know. I'm not a builder by trade. Looked up some stuff on Google, but I think this will be fine. 8x8 beam. It's going to work out to be 8.5 feet wide, I believe, in scale. So 8.5 inches. I finally settled on where I wanted my beams to sit. Worked out to be about 10 inches at the top of the beam, and then 10 inches from the top of the beam to the top of the roof line. Be about 10 feet each level in scale terms. Just figuring out how long I need my beams to be. Settled at 9 3/16 for the beams. Going ahead and placing them in there now. So the beams, I'm only gluing to that back portion of the wall. I need the shop to come apart in case I ever have to move. I only rent a basement suite where I'm at now, and this RC shop has gotten pretty big, so I'm going to have to build it and keep mindful that it's got to come apart to get it out of the house, because I don't want to just have to hack it up if I ever have to move. I switched the 3/8 inch pin nails to 5/8. A little bit longer just for the thicker material. It's going to grab a little better, hold everything in place. I'm definitely going overboard with the pin nails considering I'm gluing stuff too. But again, it adds that scale look of nails or little spikes in the beams and all the trim and everywhere I'm putting them. I don't think you'd pick it up on camera, but I did mess up when I was setting my posts. I read the wrong side of the tape measure when I was setting my distances, so they're not equally spaced, but it's a good thing the building inspector's not coming by to check my work. Math has never been my strong suit. I think that's one of my biggest issues with carpentry, is just all the numbers and the measurements, and numbers and me just don't get along, I tell you. It's a pretty odd statement too, considering I do enjoy designing stuff on Fusion, which is all measuring. So gonna set the outside posts and beam there now. Went 8.5 inches out. Kind of worked out perfect in a sense of the way I did the door trim. That beam is butted right up against it, so I couldn't go in any further. But kind of sitting back and looking at it, I don't know if I'd want to either. I think it would take away from the door. I mean, what I'm covering up there with the beam isn't much detail at all, so I think that worked out perfect. And then it still gives me lots of room for the hoist, because I had to be mindful of that too when I was putting these in and figuring out how far I wanted that mezzanine to come out. Back to my statement with measurements. I think it's mainly fractions, to be honest, because I don't have as big an issue with millimeters, using my millimeter rulers and everything for when I'm designing small stuff. So I think I just don't like fractions, to be honest. Then again, I've just glued that beam to the wall and pin nailed it in. I think I'm going to incorporate a drywall screw, maybe, just where I have to make it so it will disassemble at some point in the future, just to hold those end pieces down so they're not floating. Over by the man door side, it does sit up a little bit. There's a little bit of a gap there. I don't know, I might be able to sand it out. Not sure, haven't really looked at it, but I think the fix for that is going to be drill a hole in the top and use a drywall screw. But I'm not doing that at this time because I want to make sure I get all the decking and everything on it. Well, not the decking, but the joists and the basswood for plywood and everything. I'm also not sure what I'm going to do with the center post, just because they do float a little bit. There's a little bit of bow in that beam. I flipped it so the bow was going down, but I'm not sure if I'm going to pin nail it into the floor or if I'll go up through the bottom and pre-drill a hole and then put a drywall screw up into those beams as well. You can really see the pin nails in those beams, what I'm talking about with the scale nail look. I like it. I dig it. I don't know if that would be the way they'd be doing it. I would imagine they would with big spikes. Like I say, I'm not a carpenter, just being honest. Kind of winging it here. Building stuff the way I've seen things and a little bit of research on Google. But other than that, just winging it. This is another reason I like those pin nails. So when I put the pin nail in, it kind of moved the beam a little bit. Didn't have it set straight or clamped in enough, but literally just pulled the beam off. Glue was still wet, and then just used my little Nipex flush cuts and pulled those pin nails out. Had to rip another 8x8 down on the table saw to make all those little support pieces. Just gonna hold the post straight. I've seen them on decks and whatnot, in barns. I think I've seen them too. But just ripped them all down on the table saw and used the miter saw, made all my angles. Just kept tracing the one piece and then cleaned the edges up on my little belt sander out in the garage. So I'm really appreciating the fact that this front beam pops out. I was struggling with room, so I pulled it out of the way while I was doing all the work in behind. So that's definitely going to be a pro to having that beam removable in the future, especially when I go to do windows and trim and everything in there. I can just haul it out. The upper level, once I put joists and everything in, like I say, I'm going to build it kind of like a deck, and I'm pretty sure it's just going to be held in there with gravity as well, so I can pull it out in one piece and take it all apart. I think that's going to be the smartest way I can go about it. Finally got a shorter video. Kind of strapped for time. I'm down to the wire. I still have a bunch of stuff to do to pack for my trip, so I figured I'd get the posts and the beams set, all that in, all my angle pieces in, and leave it at that. That would be another video. The decking and everything is going to take a long time anyway, so it's kind of better I do that in 2 parts, other than have like a half an hour long video, or knowing my history with videos and time lapses so far, maybe even 40 minutes, who knows. But well, we're pretty well at the end of this one. I don't have anything else to really say about it. It was a pretty basic project, a little bit of math and everything, figuring the angles out, a lot of measurements. Only messed up one measurement. I'm not too upset about that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and stick around for more content.